Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you? Hope you're as good as we are.
It's hot, isn't it, Kath?
No, it's very hot.
It's been very hot
It really is.
on the plots.
It's about 26 now.
Yeah, but it's going to get hotter, isn't it, to the end of this week?
I think Sunday and Monday this coming weekend are going to be the hottest on record.
Yeah.
And we could top 35 plus, even into the northwest from the West Midlands, up from the south.
It's definitely global warming, isn't it?
Oh, it's definitely climate change.
Yep.
We shouldn't have this sort of heat, though. It says it is coming up from the Sahara, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, being pushed through southern Spain, through France, into southern England, and right through.
It is.
But it's still, the temperatures are crazy.
They are. How is it where you are? Have you got crazy temperatures?
Is it bright? Is it blue skies?
Is it mad where you are?
Are you blue sky thinking at the moment?
Depends on where you are in the world. But if you're in England,
Rebecca in Houston. Hi, Rebecca. If you're watching, they're in the 40s.
does she watch our channel?
She does sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
So does a colleague. She works at Springwoods High School in Houston.
She's got colleagues.
Colleagues.
I wish I had colleagues.
They're in the early 40 temperature range over the last couple of weeks, and they've had meltdowns.
She's getting on a bit, isn't she?
No, the temperature's 44 Fahrenheit, Celsius, sorry, over 100 Fahrenheit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And the electricity boxes are melting down, and transformers are blowing, and tarmac's melting.
Tarmac's melting.
Yeah.
Remember when you were a kid and you used to dig up the tarmac with a bit of a matchstick?
I used to love doing that. I used to use a big stick. I used to go in and it was covered. And my granny, my nanny, my ninny, she used to put butter on. People might remember this.
Yeah.
Put butter on to get the tarmac off.
But you used to eat coal.
I did.
Well,
I used to sit in the coal bunker and eat coal.
See what I mean?
That's why I've got good teeth.
That's why
My dentist said to me that eating coal was the best thing I could have ever done for my teeth and gums.
Do you know what?
You see.
This is what you call an allotment chat. I've summoned you here today, Catherine, to have a chat about flowers.
Okay.
And the importance of planting flowers
in amongst your veg.
On the plot. Right? So we're going to do a celebration of flowers and their worth. Because I think this year we're growing more flowers
than we have
ever grown, haven't we?
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, we've got sunflowers for Ukraine this year.
We don't always have to grow things to eat.
No.
Although some of these flowers you can eat.
Yeah. Totally. Like the nasturtiums.
Nasturtiums.
And
can you eat sweet peas, Kath?
The flower heads? I'm not actually quite sure. Can you? I don't think you can.
You can eat peas, can't you?
Yeah, you can eat peas.
Can you eat sweet peas though? There's one for you. Google it.
No, well we've got a whole range of flowers growing. We've got
So what have we got on the plot?
Oh, God.
I mean, I can flash.
Okay.
I can give it.
Well, shall I give them a quick rundown?
Whilst they're talking, I'll go round and I'll edit the flowers in that we're talking about.
Okay, well I can tell you what we've got if you want.
Yes.
We've got sweet peas, we've got hyacinth and Route 66.
Yes.
A lot of people might be growing that out there.
Yeah.
Because they're very popular and they're beautifully fragrant.
And they
flowers.
was from saved seed from last year, so we didn't buy any seeds for sweet peas this year, did we?
The sunflowers we grew primarily for Ukraine, but only 4 survived, and we did plant about 12.
Yeah, but they haven't flowered yet, but they will
Not flowering just yet. The apothecary garden at the top of the plot here.
Yes.
We've got things like agrimony. We've got St John's wort. We've got some hyssop. We've got wormwood. We've got a little bit of lavender left. Oh God, what else did we plant up there? Apothecary herbs.
Did you say yarrow?
Yarrow, feverfew and yarrow.
Yeah.
And wormwood. I think I've already said that.
Yeah.
And there's a whole range.
There's wild strawberries up there as well.
Wild strawberries up there. And then for scented around the arch, we've got
clematis
and honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle, yeah. Which smells lovely, by the way.
Cultivated varieties behind us, which you can probably just see. These, can you show the viewers?
Go on.
We've got lovely yellow gladioli here.
Yeah.
We've got iris, we've got freesia, We've got dahlia coming through at the back there.
We've set aside a bit of land.
We've got marigolds
for flowers
and
this year, haven't we?
tagetes. Hollyhocks are all around the plot.
What about the beautiful buddula?
The buddleia is fantastic for butterflies.
Butterfly bush.
Gorgeous scent.
Yeah.
Brings in loads of pollinators. We've got wallflowers. Oh, we've got a whole array of things. The hollyhocks have done really well.
Not forgetting tomato flowers
Oh,
in
yeah.
the greenhouse.
Tomato flowers.
They're very important.
Yeah.
You don't want to cut them off and put them in a vase like you used to do, did you?
I never used to.
Who did
I
that?
knew
You
someone
knew someone who
it,
did that,
yeah.
didn't you? You told me a story about that.
I knew were growing tomatoes for the first time.
Yeah.
And their partner didn't know.
They cut off the
And
beautiful flowers.
They came home and they said, "Oh, look
and
at
they
these
put
lovely
them in a
flowers."
vase.
I thought it was a bit of a joke, but it wasn't. It was for real.
See, people do that.
I think that's a bit nuts, don't you?
Yeah, we'll have to vlog that, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll have to do a vlog on what not to cut and what to cut. So we've got loads of flowers.
The hollyhocks have done extremely well this year.
The hollyhocks have done brilliant, haven't they?
Absolutely. That's the first time we've grown them.
The first thing what I noticed tonight when I got down here was how the bees absolutely love the hollyhocks.
Gorgeous. And the
because they
hoverflies.
create a lot of pollen, don't they?
You do.
So
they're dripping
all
in it.
hovering around the plots.
Yeah, it
and
just spills over.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
They're having a great time with that, aren't
We've
they?
even got daylilies as well, which we've had on the plot for many years.
Absolutely brilliant.
Which
They're lilies that only last a day.
A day, and they're beautiful.
They last
the
one
orange
day.
ones, yeah.
And they are beautiful.
And somebody gave us them, didn't they? A neighbour gave us them a while ago. Oh, many years ago.
Yes.
Many moons back. But they've been there ever since.
They're great, they are, aren't they?
So yeah, we've got a whole range of flowers.
And we have flowers all through the season. I mean, when you think about the crab apples in the spring coming up, the flowers are gorgeous, aren't they?
They are amazing. The blossom.
And then you've got the cherry blossom on the trees.
It's gorgeous.
So it's flowers right from the early, well, including daffodils and stuff like that.
And tulips.
And so right from the off of the season.
And don't forget, like the summer flowers, or late spring, early summer, the red campion.
Yep.
And we've also got ragged robin and wild geranium.
Absolutely.
Up in the apothecary.
And now the wildflowers we planted from seed, didn't we?
Yeah. Now we
went and collected them.
We did do a wildflower area at the back here, but only some have come through, not many.
I think the area's a bit too shaded, isn't it?
Shaded, yeah.
I mean, we're trying to create a woodland edge, but we didn't realise how shady it gets.
But a lot of
the
them would do
there.
okay in shade, but only a few have come through. So we're going to try and resow in September.
Yeah, we're going to try
see if
again.
We get some for early next
But it's
year.
important that you plant flowers right through the growing season. And why is that, Catherine? For what purpose?
Well, it depends. I mean, you could obviously the main and the big purpose is to attract pollinators. So you know they're coming and they're propagating your plot.
It's about pollination and it's about biodiversity.
Well, pollination, propagation, biodiversity, and also to keep insects at bay. Because if you plant tagetes amongst your brassicas, it keeps the cabbage fly larvae at bay, so they tend to move away from it.
That's it.
So
but there's another very good reason that you haven't mentioned why we plant flowers on our plots.
Because aesthetically they look beautiful.
Because they're beautiful.
Of course.
Exactly.
I thought
now
that was
this is
sense.
well, you would think that, but when you think about allotments,
also, cut flowers.
Yes, but when you think about allotments, cut flowers as well, and sometimes you go around, you have a look around the allotments, and they become like a physical manifestation of someone's mind.
Oh,
they are.
You can see it.
Aesthetically speaking, some allotments, and we won't mention names, and we won't shame people, but some allotments are very untidy looking, and.
Not that doesn't, you can have a certain
there's
amount.
nothing wrong with
certain amount
being
of wildness on your plot, because we advocate that. But when the whole plot's not being cultivated, then it's an issue, isn't it?
We think, well, I think personally, that one of the greatest assets of having an allotment is for aesthetic value, and you appreciate a sense of tidiness. You treat it like your own garden, if you like. A sense of tidiness and as the beauty that surrounds you. You know, you get a joy.
Yeah,
there's a joy in that, isn't there?
Well, I think if you're growing veg, you have to get rid of your dead leaves and you know, keep it up to scratch and keep them well fed and keep them weeded and stuff like that. But you do allocate spaces on your plot for wildlife and for areas that are a little bit uncultivated, and that's not an issue.
No,
it's when the whole plot is uncultivated.
Or it's all over the place, or you've got old tyres and bits of old plastic and stuff, you know.
And I hate netting that people
use. I don't think it's very conducive to good garden practice. And we're not talking about an RHS show garden here. We're just talking about something that looks very pleasing to the eye. And if it looks pleasing to the eye, because you're growing beautiful things here, you're growing plants that have aesthetic value, and it shows a respect for the nature and the wildlife, and it's a place where you can sit down and feel more comfortable in, more secluded perhaps, because you've created secluded places.
Yeah, because you want a sense of privacy.
You've tidied up the area.
When you come to an allotment site, you don't always want to have to be sociable all the time. You want to have a bit of time to yourself, especially if you're working, like us and other people. You want to come here and just get on with stuff and focus on what you're doing with your vegetables.
But it
encourages mindfulness.
It never surprises me how many allotment holders do not tend to value that sense of aesthetics.
I mean, I'm going to be bold and say this now. Some people might not like it, but there you go. I think sometimes allotments are used as a status symbol, just to say I have an allotment.
Yeah, they do.
Now, if you say I have an allotment and you take someone to it, and it's a broader range of stuff, of vegetables and what you're growing, that's amazing. That's fabulous. But just for the fact that you can say I have an allotment but you don't really cultivate it, then I think that's unfair, because that could go to somebody who really wanted to cultivate that allotment.
You do see that over the years, don't you, people doing that?
Yeah, we've been here so long, and very, very long time to see that happen on a continual basis, really.
Now, I do realise that it's not easy to make, especially if you're starting out. If you're starting out...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone who's had it, or some people who have had them for years.
No, they've had them for years and they've not improved them, and they've not taken...
You don't take it seriously enough.
No, it's true.
But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
Yeah, but if you're starting out and you think, we're not trying to be a bit critical about how your allotment looks or anything like that.
It's up to people.
But it can take many years to get it to a standard that you're happy with.
It took us an ongoing time.
It's an ongoing progress, and but it's something to aspire to. It's something to, you can visit RHS gardens and be inspired by them, and I wouldn't say that you're trying to emulate them, but you're just trying to learn about how to grow things prettily, how to be pretty in your gardening.
I think it's down to love and care, isn't it? Really, it's how much you passion.
Yeah,
it's how passionate you are about growing stuff. I mean, there's loads of allotment holders I know who are amazingly passionate, and I mean really passionate, and their plots are amazing. And they are really, really nice plots. So it's really down to personal choice, but I feel it's an injustice if committees are banging on about waiting lists all the time, which they tend to do, and you've got people who've got plots and they're not, they could be partly cultivated and partly left, that's fine, but when a plot isn't fully cultivated in some respect, what's the point of having an allotment if you're not cultivating it? Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? Tell me if it's not, because I'm quite open to that.
This is supposed to be an entertainment channel. We're supposed to give you upbeat advice about stuff and be a bit
entertaining.
You don't come here for a heavy chat. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. Anyway, so I mean, there's lots of reasons to grow flowers, but grow lovely flowers and be joyous in your growing. I think that's the main advice, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just be happy with what you're growing and the way you grow it, and that's the main thing. And don't be bothered if people like us criticise you.
It's not
no, we wouldn't do that.
No, it's not criticising, because ours is all wild at the back here.
Yeah, it is.
We've got a wild area there,
areas.
and we've got, the apothecary section.
We tend to hide.
It's the middle bit.
We tend to hide it.
We
tend to put it out of sight, don't we? Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind, and we just stay in the pretty bits, don't we? We keep it nice and pretty in that bit until the end of the year when it all looks a mess again. It can look a mess, doesn't it?
So what was your point about your main point?
I don't know.
About this allotment chat?
I don't know. It's about flowers and.
Have we gone off on a tangent there?
We're growing flowers. We went off on a bit of a rant there, didn't we? Sorry about that. Didn't mean to go off on a rant. No, but it's.
Sometimes
true,
it's good to have
it?
a rant.
It is. It's the hot weather. The hot weather makes us do it.
It's healthy to have a rant. I think people should do it more often.
Our one single viewer.
Yeah. Who's probably inside at the moment and staying shaded and cool.
Yeah.
With a nice cup of tea.
With a cup of tea or something stronger. It's up to you, viewer. You can do what you want in your own home. In
fact, I'm going to make that recipe that Sean James Cameron put up.
What's that?
What's it, Lord...
Wotton pie.
Wotton pie, after Lord Wotton.
If you don't know who Sean James Cameron is, then we'll put a link on the video somewhere down there.
Yeah.
We'll put a link down there on Sean's
been gardening for years,
channel.
Hasn't he? A long time.
Yeah, he's a good inspiration, Sean. We like his channel and stuff.
But he's done a nice recipe recently, which looks very, very
1940s
appetising.
Yeah, if not a bit bland, because they didn't have much.
That's what food was like then.
It was actually it was developed by somebody who worked in the Savoy as chef.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
During the 1940s.
Because there weren't many resources, and it was mostly grown. Well, it would have been homegrown vegetables, obviously, and yeah.
We've got some great things planned for you, haven't we?
I don't know, have we?
Yeah, some great chats coming up.
Oh, chats! Oh, yeah, There's some. Oh, there's some good ones in the bag. Yeah.
We don't know what they are yet, but you'll find out. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and if you have, congratulations on getting through it.
Yeah.
Tell us your thoughts on allotments here and stuff like that.
Can I get back to what I'm doing now?
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.
And we'll see you in the next allotment thing. We'll probably do a tour next time, won't we?
I think so.
Okay then. Okay, see you now. Bye.
Bye bye.